Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Devils in God's Country. I'm one of your hosts, Casper Rigsby. This is my lovely, talented, wonderful co host and CEO of Atheist Republic, Miss Allie Jackson. Say hi, Miss Allie.
Hi.
I love throwing your title around out there because you won't. Hey. All right, guys. Tonight's topic is going to be self appointed potty fucking monitors at Target and other stores in response to Target's statement that they will continue to let people be who they are without intruding on their personal lives. Um, and just to let people know that in the wake of several other states going, no, you got to use the bathroom that fucking matches the genitalia attached to your body. And Target basically said, no, like we've pretty much said, hey, man, you use the restroom that's specific to the gender that you align with and that you're oriented to, and we don't have a problem with that. We've never had a problem with that. We just wanted to make sure that everybody knew we've never had a problem with that, and we're gonna continue to not have a problem with that because we're not douchebags who want to like get all up in your goddamn business. Um, but of course, the moment that Target reiterated this statement, and it's not a new thing, it's not some new rule that Target instituted. They're like, oh, now we're going to go ahead and support LGBTQ equality like now, since this is an issue, and you know we're going to jump on this bandwagon. And no, that's where Target's been at for years and years and years and years. It's been stated before, and it wasn't an issue, and now apparently they had to reiterate it, for the people in states where this has become an issue. They wanted to let their patrons know, and our stores, we're not going to be douchebags to you, and we're going to treat you like decent human beings would treat other decent human beings. That's how we're going to treat you, regardless of any fucked up stupid ass laws. They can suck a dick. In our stores, you're going to get treated with respect and humility, and we're going to treat you like decent human beings. That's what we're going to do in our fucking store. And of course, right wing fucking batshit crazy religious motherfuckers have taken it upon themselves to start patrolling the motherfucking bathrooms. So now we have men running up into women's bathrooms and just running up to women like, hey, show me your pussy. Are you supposed to be in here? Show me your pussy. Like, I don't know if necessarily they're saying show me the pussy, but I feel like they are, so I'm gonna say it anyway because fuck, who gives a shit like whether it's accurate or not? Because they sure as fuck don't give a damn about dealing with facts or what's actually accurate. So I'm just gonna say, for the sake of argument, that they're running up into women's bathrooms saying show me your pussy. Um, and it's a weird fucked up thing because we're seeing this from men going into women's bathrooms. I have yet to hear about any women running up in the men's bathroom and be like, hey man, show me your dick. Are you supposed to be in here? Show me your dick. I haven't heard of that yet. If I do, I'll be sure to let everybody know. Hey, there's dick sweaters in the men's bathroom now too. Um, but yeah, what it seems to be mostly is just male ultra religious fundamentalists, fucktards. It's the best word I can think of to apply to these people that are honestly have to kind of be perverts themselves. I mean, what business of yours is it to go into the fucking women's room if you know you don't identify as a woman and you're not a woman? Like, this is the only two reasons to end up in a women's room is if you actually identify as a woman, and so you more than likely are attracted to men, and you have no physical attraction to women anyway, and you identify as a woman, and that would be your only real reason for going into the woman's restroom if you still actually happen to have a penis as well. Um, Other than that, straight ass dudes like myself, to use a trigger word, cisgendered males, such as myself, have no fucking business going in the fucking women's room. You just fucking don't. Um, Nobody appointed you as fucking potty monitor at fucking Target or Walmart or any other goddamn store. and that's not your fucking place. I know you think that's your place, and I'm sure that maybe 2 out of 3 of these fucktards are really just like, no, man, I'm trying to make sure that women don't get fucking molested in the bathrooms. Where were you for the last fucking, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 years?
Thank you.
Because it's been happening right in front of your fucking face the whole fucking time. Women have been getting raped and molested in women's room by fucking heterosexual dudes for the last fucking 50, 60 years. Where were you then? Why were you not standing at the door then going, hey, dude, what are you doing trying to go in here? You don't go in here. Like, where were you? You were nowhere to fucking be found. And now all of a sudden, you're fucking the potty monitor. It's the fucking craziest shit I've ever heard. I don't know, Allie. Where do you think they were? Where do you think they were for the last 50, 60 years? Do you think they were the ones in there molesting women and little girls?
Well, I think that personally they didn't have an agenda. They didn't have something they could really force their hatred upon. Men being men going off and raping women, well, that's just, it's biblical. It happens all the time. That wasn't something they could really focus their anger and hatred on, but due to the fact that they hate transsexuals and due to the fact that they hate, people who they've made this issue into these people are monsters. Now all of a sudden they get this chance to say, here's my hate card, I get to play it, and it's going to be fair, and I get to look like the hero. I would be livid as fuck if I saw a man enter the woman's bathroom to question someone if they needed to be in there. And I gotta say, so I have been going to Target a lot lately just because, like, how fucking cool is it to now have a place where you're kind of in a bigot-free zone, right? It's fucking awesome. And I did go into the bathroom to reapply some of my Ruby Roo red lipstick and do up my hair a little bit, make sure I was looking good. And there was a 12-year-old in there with his mom using the bathroom. And I was like, this is awesome, right? Like, that kid needed to pee, wanted to be with his mom. He's in this bathroom. Fucking awesome. Like, who fucking cares? But if a man had busted in there to say anything to anybody, some short-haired woman or what have you, I would tear him a new one. Like, I would not sit there and allow that kind of bigotry. Who the fuck are you? You're the one now breaking your own law because you're a man in the woman's bathroom. And is that, that brings me to, is this even like a law? Men have always been able to go into the women's restroom. It's never been against the law. It's just a social norm that's been set. Men have their restrooms, women have their restrooms, but nothing before has ever physically stopped a cis male from going into the women's restroom. Nothing. I've been into the men's restroom before. I will proudly admit that, I guess, since I'm drunk. It's fucking stupid if you're at a store, half-price books in Cedar Park near Austin. They had two bathrooms that were single stalls. One was for men, one was for women. Well, the women's restroom was backed up 3 fucking women, okay? And there was no one going to the men's restroom. So I said, fuck this shit. I'm going to go into the men's restroom with my kid. My kid has to pee now. I'm going in there now. So what? I went into a men's restroom and no one called the police. No one came busting down the door being like, hey, lady, you need to get out of this men's restroom. I mean, it was a single unit anyways. Like, it really, so what the fuck? We put up signs, men and women only, and due to social norms, we abide by those. And all of a sudden, because we have a group of people that the religious people in this country feel they get the rule, they get the freedom to show their hatred outwardly. Now all of a sudden this is a personal challenge. I'm gonna fucking stand outside the women's bathroom and I'm gonna lynch me a homo is the way they fucking see it and say it. I'm sorry, I live in Texas, but I hear that shit all the time. Okay, I hear them refer to transsexuals as homos. I hear them refer to how they're gonna just hang them up and kill them all. I hear that shit all the fucking time, and I think it's ridiculous. It's outrageous, and it scares me. It scares me that we have gotten ourselves into this point where now it's okay to have men behave this way. You bring up a great point. Women have been raped and molested. Women have been violated with video cameras, and not just a man standing in there taking pictures of you, but men actually entering a women's restroom, setting up video cameras, and coming back later to collect their equipment. This has been going on ever since the beginning of fucking mini cameras. Men have been doing this shit. If you ever search the internet, you can find women going to the bathroom without their knowledge that they're even on the internet. They had no idea they were ever being recorded. Aside from that, men who work at Target. Let's say there is a pervert who works at Target. Well, he has access to go up into the ceiling and set up video cams in a way that you're never going to see. And he can look directly down and in any angle that's going to capture every single thing you're doing. So this has been going on for decades, ever since we've had the technology to implore these kinds of behaviors. This shit's been going on, and I have never seen a cis male lose his shit. And every single time he goes into a store, he barges his way into a women's restroom and starts looking for video equipment. I've never seen that. And now all of a sudden they want to protect the children. I want to protect the children. If we are all allowed here, and if what we're saying is it's a great thing to be a bigot, and it's a great thing to be judgmental, and it's a great thing to just generalize the fuck out of people, anyone who's wearing a priest collar should not be allowed in a fucking public restroom. Okay, and how about that? How about that? How do we all feel about that? Because I'm generalizing here, I'm being a bigot, and I'm saying that all priests must absolutely be sexual predators because, hey, why the fuck not? A few of them were, so let's go ahead and let's exclude them all. And I hope people can hear that and kind of be like, wow, that sounds like a pretty fucked up, stupid generalization to make. I'm sure that not every priest is out to molest little boys, and that's kind of silly to try to keep them out of the public bathroom. Thank you. Thank you. Generalizing is outrageously stupid, and coming across some weird, fucked up misunderstanding that all transsexuals are perverts, therefore they're pedophiles, is the biggest slippery slope. It's the biggest fucking logical fallacy. I never in my life would have thought that we would take such poor logic and then start applying it towards our laws like this. And this is getting so out of hand, and people say, well, this has nothing to do with religion. This is absolutely, and then I say, then show me the research that proves, scientific research that proves that you are more at risk for having a transgender person in your restroom than a priest. Show me the research that proves you're now at more risk. And no one can, because that doesn't exist. So this absolutely is a religious thing. This is a religious hate card. Any single time they get a chance to play the religious hate card, let's look at your state, Casper, what your state did recently and said, any counselor who doesn't want to help an LGBT person has the right to deny them mental health based on their sexual orientation. This is now law. These laws, these stupid fucking laws are going into effect all over our country. Absolutely ever. And the only place that we're boycotting is goddamn North Carolina? No, let's start boycotting Texas. Let's start boycotting Tennessee. Let's start boycotting Mississippi. All of these places where they say, oh, women can't have an abortion. Let's take down all the abortion clinics. Let's make women give birth to their dead fetuses that are inside of them. We have to make sure that mothers are carrying around their dead babies. We can't induce birth because That's just unnatural. And that stems from religion. All of this bullshit stems from religion. And it's just more and more and more of, we've got a book that says we're allowed to hate you. We've got a book that says we're allowed to control you. We've got a book. And that is why we have straight ass men hanging outside and inside women's restroom all of a sudden, because they've got a book that handed them a hate card. They never cared about women before. To be honest with you, I still don't think most of these fucking people care about women. Okay, this is all about them being able to show their power and show, well, I'm allowed to do this now, so I'm going to do it. You're allowed to piss in a public pool. You shouldn't fucking do it. Okay, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
No, it is absolutely ridiculous. And what's fucked up is, like you mentioned, if you made the generalization saying that all priests should be banned from public restrooms, you're absolutely correct that is a terrible generalization to make, and that it is a generalization, and it's not applicable to all fucking priests just because some fucking priests have been fucking pedophiles. But here's the fucked up thing. There is more statistical, factual data showing that priests are pedophiles than there is showing that a transgender person has ever committed any sort of perverted pedophilia, perverted act of pedophilia or child molestation ever. Like, ever. Much less in a public fucking restroom. Okay? But ever. Like, in general, these people are actually a little more in tune with who they are sexually and as sexual beings. And they tend to be far less perverted and perverse and sexually deviant than your average person. Probably less sexually deviant than Allie or I. Certainly less sexually deviant than a great many priests out there. Certainly far less sexually deviant than fucking Josh Duggar. Who put up a sign at the public restroom saying Josh Duggar can't go in here anymore because he's a child molester. Like, he's a known fucking child molester. So Josh Duggar's not allowed in here anymore. If he wants to piss, he'll have to fucking go piss somewhere else. He can't do it here because we don't allow child molesters in our fucking bathrooms. Nobody put up that fucking sign. But yet we've got assholes standing in front of the women's room going, "Hey, are you sure you're supposed to be going in here? You got tits and a pussy, right? Oh, okay. You can go in here and use the restroom then." Like, honestly, what I want to see happen is for women to unanimously just stand up and say, "This is fucking ridiculous." And when you see these fucktards standing in front of your bathroom or coming into your bathroom, tase the fuck out of them. Pepper spray them in the goddamn face. You don't fucking belong here. If you have a right to concealed carry, pull a fucking gun and shove it in his fucking face. Get the fuck out of here. This ain't your fucking place. I got me. Because women have had to get themselves. Women have had to fucking carry around fucking mace and tasers and fucking get concealed carry permits and carry guns in their fucking purses because nobody's been fucking taking care of them before. Nobody's been watching over them before. Mothers still have to fucking go to the restrooms with their teen daughters because they know that their teen daughter is at risk going in a woman's room from a cisgendered male that may fucking sneak in there when he thinks nobody's looking and molest her or rape her. Mothers know this. Grown women know this. Do you know? It's always one of those funny jokes. Oh, why do women always go to the bathroom in packs? Because they're less likely to get fucking molested or raped on the way to or in the restroom if they're in a group. Yep. That's the reality of the situation, and it's been that way for fucking years. And all of a sudden, oh no, it's not about hate. I don't hate transgender people. I'm just trying to protect the kids. I mean, if even one pervert takes advantage of this shit, then that's one too many. Motherfucker, you ain't been paying attention before. Nope. You haven't been fucking watching out for nobody before. Why the fuck is it so important to you now? It's not. It's not important. And you can tell me it's not about fucking hate all day long. You can say it till you're fucking blue in the face, and I'm going to fucking scream right back at you that you're full of shit. we'll both be blue in the face, screaming at each other because you're full of fucking shit. It is absolutely about hate. It is absolutely about you looking at something that does not meet the fucking social norms that you're used to, that you think all life should fucking be packaged into this little box. And when something doesn't fit in your little fucking box, you're like, ooh, that thing, let's kill it with fire. It's instantaneous. It's this horrible fucking mental disease that nearly all human beings have. And some of us work very hard to overcome that. I grew up in Tennessee where the norm is subtle racism. The norm is subtle bigotry. The norm is fucking hatred of anything different, but you keep that under the table. You don't just bring it out. You keep it, underneath the wraps. But when you see a black man, you might take a few steps over to the side. You don't want to walk too close to him. He might reach over and fucking steal your wallet. It's ingrained, this fucking idea that this is what I grew up with, ingrained into my fucking mind. Oh, if you see a crossdresser, that's a pervert, man. They might touch you in your wee places. Like, it's ingrained in my fucking mind, and every day is a matter of going, that's some fuck shit. Like, I'm not cool with that. I'm more intelligent than that. I have actual facts to say that's not factually fucking true. Like, there's facts that are available for me to make a rational fucking decision, rather than the idea that, oh, that's different than me. I'm scared of that. I have to fight it. And that's all it boils down to. You see something that's different than you, and you go, oh, I got to fight that. Oh, that's bad. Whatever that is, that's bad. I don't understand it, and it makes me feel icky, and I got to fight that. And that's all it boils down to. And it's not about fucking protecting kids. It's not about protecting your fucking wife or anybody else. It's about your own personal inability to make a rational fucking decision based on factual fucking information. And that's what religion has done to you. That's what religion has done to so fucking many of you people out there that are still sitting here. And this includes atheists, okay? This includes atheists that still haven't let go of this fucking bullshit that's been ingrained in them so long, that they still have these same stupid ass ideas, and they still don't know how to come to a rational fucking decision based on factual fucking information. They can let go of God, but then, like, there's all this other bullshit, and they don't apply the same criteria, and they can't let go. And so we still have atheists who run around talking about, well, I don't hate LGBT people, but, I'm just saying, biologically, you're born with a penis or your vagina, and, like, that's just how it is. You're either a man or a woman. And we hear this argument from atheists in our own community, and we're like, are you even listening to yourself? Like, let's talk about facts. And they don't even want to listen to facts. They don't want to have a rational conversation. They're just like, no, this is how it is. And no, it's not. But we have more information now to make a better, rational fucking decision. So let's start doing that. I don't believe there's any law that should ever be made in this country that is not based on factual information coming from a rational fucking standpoint. What is the rational reaction to the factual information that is given on this subject? If we can't make that determination, then there shouldn't be a law in place that hinders other people. There shouldn't be laws that are detrimental to other people that are not based on factual information and come to a rational conclusion. There's nothing logical about that. And so we're going to single out, and we're going to hinder, and we're going to be detrimental to small specific groups of people, because we can't figure out that the only way to have an actual justice system is if it's based in reason and logic and based in factual information. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
It is, and it really bothers me, because it's yet again another way where men feel women need them, right? Women need my protection. Women need a man to step in and make this right. And let me tell you something that happened in my high school, and this was to me an epidemic because it happened 3 times. But there were some perverted boys who knew that during school time, everyone was supposed to be in class, making the what? Hallways empty, right? So they would leave class and wait for girls to also leave class to go to the restroom. Common fucking thing. Every girl did it in high school, right? You asked your teacher, I need the bathroom pass, I'm leaving, gotta go to the restroom. So they'd go to the restroom and they'd end up getting raped because it was the perfect fucking storm, right? No one's in the hallways to hear. No one's in the bathroom because everyone's supposed to be in class. And young women were getting raped in the bathrooms. And this was such an eye-opener to me. And it's one of those things where it's like, I would never blame the victim. But I do put a huge, huge importance to every woman saying that your safety is yours. You need to be aware of what can happen to you. You need to be aware of your own surroundings. These weren't transsexuals hopping in. There is no like magic force field that like scans your body as you go to enter a restroom and says, knocks you back and says, you've got a penis, you can't be in this bathroom. It's shocking, but those bathroom doors open up to anyone who wants to come into them. And young boys were sneaking into there to rape girls in the bathroom when they would go in the middle of class. So naturally, the girl would have a couple of options. Go back to class and explain why she was in the bathroom for so long, right? Or go to the principal and claim that she was raped. And I say claim that she was raped because, again, came from a very southern place where it's the woman's fault. It's the girl's fault if you get raped. So a lot of these things were brushed under the rug. The girl was asked to leave the school and go to some school for troubled people. It's also the same place where they sent all the girls who got pregnant, the same girls who did everything. And they would brush that under the rug and make it really hush, 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 because you can't, and you can't expect a young woman to even admit she was raped in the first place because of all the shame that she feels and guilt and all that stuff. So I was taught from a very young age that no matter where I go, my safety is my priority. My safety is up to me. If I absolutely have to go to a restroom when I'm at a store, I am going to see if there's someone who can go with me. I am going to see if there's another woman going in around the same time I'm going in. I'm going to make sure someone else is around. These are my things based on the history I've had growing up. I think that I'm happy that a lot of people haven't had the same situations and a lot of people haven't had to face the same terrible, horrible situations. And they're outrageously ignorant to this topic. And being ignorant, when I say that, it's not an insult. It just means that you don't hold the facts that are out there. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you're ignorant to the evils of what can happen to a woman in the bathroom. The problem with that is men create all these ideas of, what's going to happen, what these transgenders are going to be doing to women and children and kids. And it's not the way they think. It's not going down the way they think it's going to go down. And women, absolutely. I went to the Target Facebook page because I was curious about all the visitors' posts. And sure enough, every visitor's post was, "Dear Target, I ain't shopping your store no more, okay? And I ain't taking my kids to you perverts, and we're shopping on our Walmart." You go right on ahead and you go shopping at your Walmart. But that is not going to save you from whatever perverts you think is going to save you from Target. Whether you're at Walmart, whether you're in North Carolina and there are men hanging around doing their policing thing, that is not going to save you from men who are trying to exploit you or women who are trying to exploit you. Your safety is yours to be aware of. You need to understand that if someone's going to set up cameras, that man standing at the door probably has no idea there are cameras in there watching you go to the bathroom. These are the things. So you can stop shopping at Target. Trust me, it has been a dream come true. I've loved it every single bit, walking around knowing that many of the people there aren't bigots. It's just felt good inside. Okay, so please, by all means, take your bullshit to Walmart, but that's not going to save you if somebody wants to rape you or exploit you in the bathroom.
Yeah, you know, I got into a conversation with a douchebag on fucking Facebook the other day. And his whole thing was, well, now I have to fucking sit here and, every time my daughter wants to go to the bathroom, I got to walk over there and stand outside the door and, make sure and listen out for her and make sure it's fucking safe in there and shit. And yeah, and that's what I asked him. I was like, well, weren't you already doing that? And he was like, well, no, she should be safe in the bathroom. I'm like, dude, she wasn't. She was never safe in the bathroom. She got lucky. It was a sheer matter of fucking luck that she wasn't just another statistic of someone who got raped in the bathroom because you felt like it wasn't your parental obligation to fucking make sure that your child was safe going to use a public restroom. Like, dude, so nothing should have changed for you. The fact that something did change only points out the fact that you were kind of a shitty parent to fucking begin with. Like, that's what that says to me. Like, you weren't concerned about her safety before, and she was much more at risk at that point because, I'm really kind of clued into the fact that a lot of transgendered people have had to deal with a lot of bullying and a lot of bullshit in their fucking lives, and a lot of them are pretty well equipped to deal with bullying. And a lot of them, when you're that dude that wants to play bathroom monitor, a lot of those transgendered women will kick the living shit out of you when you try to come in there on them. And you deserve it. You deserve every fucking bit of it. So you know what? I'm happy to have a transgendered woman in the bathroom if I had a daughter and, she's in there and fucking lo and behold, some fucking perverted cisgender dude is in there trying to rape women. Like, hey, there's someone that's gonna fucking, try to put a stop to it. There's someone that fucking can probably hold their own because they've had to deal with assholes like you this whole fucking time, their entire fucking lives, as they tried to figure out who they were and tried to just be themselves. And people fucking kicked shit in their fucking eyes the whole goddamn time. And so they've had to deal with it, and they've learned to fucking deal with it, and they learned to be tough about it. And so, yeah, I'm happy to have that person in there watching out for my wife. If I had daughters, watching out for my daughters. I know that person's going to fucking watch out for them. Yep. They've already had to deal with it, and they're not going to fucking put up with it. They're not just going to sit there and let it happen.
Well, here's another thing that happened that, I still to this day, I don't believe I handled it correctly, and I feel guilty about it, and I feel angry about it. But my daughter's autistic, and she will not speak to anybody, especially a stranger. If a stranger is trying to talk to her in public, she's not going to say a word. And I have boys and I have a girl. And so they all needed to go to the bathroom. Boys went to their bathroom. Kayla went to her bathroom. I'm out there with a baby. And, one kid comes running out of the boys' bathroom, shoots over to electronics. I go over there, literally, it wasn't 5 seconds to be like, dude, you need to come back over here until everyone's done. Come on over here now. When, lo and behold, this guy had whipped up one of those cleaning carts and blocked off the girl's bathroom. And I was like, wait a minute, my daughter's still in there. And I didn't know it was a guy at this point. I was just like, my daughter's still in there. So I walk in there, and this man, I didn't hear him say anything. Maybe he had. He claimed that he had, but no one responded. Was peeking into my daughter's stall as she was going to the bathroom. Well, I lost my shit. I was like, excuse me, that's my daughter. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Get the fuck out of here. And he said, well, I said something. I literally stepped away for 5 seconds. Okay, I didn't hear you say anything. He said, I said something and no one responded. I was just making sure no one was in the stalls. So you need to peek. You need to walk up to the stalls and peek to make sure no one's in there. So I talked to a manager who seemed completely uninterested in anything that I had to say about the topic. And that made me feel bad. That made me feel angry. And so my bottom line was, we're just never coming back. Like, I'm never coming back here. I'm never going to put my children in this situation again. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that situation. But that guy probably still works there. Manager really didn't seem to give a flying fuck. that this old creepy man was peeking into my daughter in the fucking stalls. So, you know, no matter where you are, no matter what you do, there's always some weird situation that's going to come up that can possibly put your child at risk. And to focus your intention on transgenders and not on actual people who are anybody. I mean, if you're needing to send your son or your daughter into a restroom with me, be suspicious of me. You should be suspicious of anybody and everybody. You don't know who any of these people are. It's a very dangerous situation, and I've gotten to the point now where I will shop where there are family restrooms, one where I know I can be in a closed situation with the kids. I can leave them in there alone and know no other stranger is walking in there on them. Sometimes, of course, I can't be in that situation, so I do have to stand guard, and you do have to be there. And keep in mind, if you step away for just 5 seconds, something can happen. You never know, something can happen. But the real tragedy of all of this is focusing our agenda. I'm going to call it an agenda. It's seriously, this is a hate agenda is what it is. You're different. I don't like you. I hate you. And this is my card to play it. To focus your agenda on one specific type of person as the person who's going to be a predator on your child, you're putting your kid at more risk. You're ignoring the fact that there are way more other people, way bigger demographics out there that you're ignoring, that you're just automatically assuming it's safe, and it's not. It's not. Your hateful agenda is literally blinding you. It's literally blinding you to who really could possibly hurt your child. And that's sad. That's what's sad to me, is that proves to me this is not about children's safety. This is not about you being a knight in shining armor saving all of us poor, frail women who can't do anything for ourselves, even though we've had to for the past couple of decades. You know, this is all about your hate agenda. And the more and more and more you do that, the more you're actually putting other people at risk. And it's sad. And it's pathetic.
Yep. So here, and again, as always, I know that half the things we say here are not going to change anybody's mind. You know, if you happen to be one of these hateful bigots and you just were like, oh my goodness, this is one of those episodes I got to watch so I can comment and say some stupid shit, please do. Please say your stupid shit in the fucking comments below. I love tearing into you motherfuckers. But before we ever get there, maybe there's one or two people out there that can be reached by actual facts. So here's some facts for you. First of all, your child, be they male or female, is more likely to be molested or raped by a close family member or friend than a transgender person, randomly in a restroom. Your child, be they male or female, is more likely to be raped or molested by your clergyman, be it a Catholic priest, be it your Baptist minister, be it one of the deacons at your fucking church. Your son or daughter is more likely to be raped or molested by one of those people whom they trust than they are to be raped or molested by a transgender person in a public restroom. Your child, be they male or female, is more likely to be raped or molested by your local fucking congressman than they are to be molested or raped by a transgendered individual in a public restroom. These are facts. I swear to you, Google is your fucking friend. Look it up. Look up the fucking facts. Look up the facts of the fucking matter and educate your fucking selves. And then if you want to fucking make a statement beyond that, at least you're trying to make some sort of educated fucking statement and have some sort of educated opinion. But until you understand these facts and until you can admit to these facts, you're just being a piece of shit. You're being a bigot. So when you admit to me that you understand these factual truths and you've taken every step to ensure that your child is safe around friends and family, and you've taken every step to make sure that your child is safe around your local clergyman and the deacons and the ministers at your church, and you've taken every step to make sure that your child is never an intern for a fucking congressman or a senator, then don't talk to me about how this is all about, the safety and welfare of my children and my wife and all these women out here who are in danger because of this crazy notion that people should, be able to be people and not be treated like pieces of shit and second class citizens because they don't fit into your fucking normative standard. That's bullshit. That's what bigotry really is. When you hate people and you feel like you have every right to fucking hate them because they don't fit into your normative standard. So you need to understand facts. And when you understand facts, then you can make rational, logical fucking decisions. Like the rational, logical decision that even if you are religious, you probably shouldn't send your kids to fucking daycare or to vacation Bible school. More kids get raped and molested at vacation Bible schools and Bible camps than do in public restrooms. Hands down. That's by transgendered or cisgendered people put together. More children are raped at Bible camps and little Bible retreats than have ever been raped or molested in public restrooms by anyone. That's a factual fucking statement. So if you're not going to take the time to say, you know what, this is a potentially dangerous situation for me to send my kid into, and I probably shouldn't do that, then you're just a bigot. You're just a bigot who hates people because you don't fucking understand it and it doesn't make sense to you and it makes you uncomfortable. And this isn't about your fucking comfort. It's about these other people's comfort who have never done any fucking thing wrong, and they should be able to feel like, they're being treated like decent human beings because they've never done any fucking thing wrong. And when your local priest is at your fucking parish, um, and no one wants to tell you why he just suddenly fucking left his last fucking parish in the middle of fucking nowhere, dead of fucking night. They just moved him to your fucking parish, and all of a sudden he's there. And then all of a sudden there's, instances of boys coming up and saying, hey man, Father, what's his fucking name, was being a little handsy with me the other day. And you're just like, no, he's a priest. It's okay. Like, you're not dealing with the reality of the fucking situation. You're just hating on people. And then this person that fits into your supposed normative standard, that's your fucking pervert. That's your fucking, your fucked up individual that is doing terrible things to children. And you say, oh, well, he fits in the normative standard box, so he couldn't possibly be a bad person. Yeah, the fuck he is. That's what makes bad people good at being bad people, is when they seem to fit into your fucking normative box. The ones that are clearly standing out of that fucking box, generally you don't have to fucking look out for those people. They're already getting enough shit as it is. People are already watching them like fucking hawks. Those are not the people you really have to be worried about. They're just not. People you have to worry about is the motherfuckers that look like they're absolutely sane and normal. Those are the people that are more likely to do some crazy ass fucked up shit because they've learned to fit into the fucking box. And they've learned to get away with it. And they've learned that, oh, well, I'm adult and your kid's just talking some crazy shit. And of course you should believe me. I'm an adult. I'm a deacon at your church. What? Really? I have the love of Jesus Christ in my heart. I would never do such a thing. I don't know where your kid is getting these ideas from. He must have Satan in his heart. Satan must be working through him to try and bring terribleness upon me, but I will pray over it. I will pray that you come to an understanding that Satan needs to be rebuked from your child who is threatening everything that I have worked so hard for. That's the motherfucker you don't trust. That's the motherfucker you should probably punch in the face the moment he says that to you. The moment he goes into that little spiel, that's probably when you should start kicking his fucking ass because you know he's full of shit. Know it. At that fucking moment. But you won't. You won't. You buy that bullshit before you listen to your own fucking child. Just like you buy this bullshit that allowing transgendered people to use the restroom that they're oriented with is going to cause fucking more cases of rape and molestation in public restrooms. When the fact is, it's not. It's not going to cause any more than there already have been, because the ones committing these crimes are generally cisgendered males and females. That's who's doing these things. That's who's causing these offenses. That's who you should be looking out for. And you're not. You don't care about those. Why? Because, well, that person has a penis and he went into the male's room. So obviously, he's a sane and rational human being. But no, probably not. Like, very likely, he's not. I just, I, I wish that people could take a rational and logical look at factual information and make a rational, logical decision. And people refuse to do that. And that stems back to the same religious indoctrination. And maybe you're not a fundamentalist Christian. I get you. Maybe you call yourself progressive and you're all about gay marriage, and that's fine. Gay people can get married and whatever, but you still don't want transgenders using bathrooms that they orient with. Like, that still doesn't fit into your normative box. Your box has gotten bigger, but it's still a fucking box. And if something don't fit in there, then you just can't deal with it. People have to get out of their fucking box, man. Your box does not fit everybody in there. It doesn't. Some of us have broken the fucking mold, man, and you cannot fit us into any fucking box. That's where atheists sit at. That's where transgendered people sit at. That's where LGBTQ people sit at. Like, we don't fit in your fucking box, man. I'm outside the fucking norm, and if you judge me by your norm, you're judging fucking wrong. If you think that I'm a terrible person because I don't believe in your fucking God and your Jesus and your religion, then you have misjudged me entirely. And all because I didn't fit in your fucking box. And if you think that some transgendered individual is going to rape or molest your child just because they're transgendered and they happen to be in a restroom that they actually orient with and identify with, then you're fucked up. You've already made the mistake because you thought they could fit in the box. And they don't. That's nobody really fits in the box. But you haven't gotten that far in life. So at least expand your goddamn box some. Like, maybe give the idea that human beings should be treated like decent human beings until they prove to you that they can't be trusted or treated like decent human beings. Until then, you treat them like decent human beings. At the very least, you don't have to like them, you don't have to agree with them. You treat them like decent fucking human beings until they show you that you shouldn't.
And you and I came from a place and came from families that held no respect for the LGBT community. I know that in my household, being gay, being a lesbian, being bisexual was the worst. But you were a pervert, you were a freak. My father was the first to whip out Bible verses showing how Sodom and Gomorrah were completely demolished due to their nasty, disgusting, perverted homosexual lusts. It was absolutely beaten into me that I should hate and be disgusted in homosexuals. That proved to be a huge problem for me because I considered myself at different stages of my life a lesbian and finally a bisexual. Okay. I remember when I was 5 years old, I wanted kids, and I told my aunt that I would sleep with a man just to have a baby. Yes, at 5, I knew where babies came from. I would sleep with a man just to have a baby, but then I was going to leave him and be with my best friend and a woman, and we would raise that baby together. And it was silly. It was a silly thing, but I knew in my heart that I always wanted to be with women. And growing up in a house where it was just ingrained in me that it was perverted, it was disgusting, I was going to hell. And not that my parents knew necessarily that's how I felt, but they didn't for a very long time. But you know, it just that ingrained and ingrained and ingrained and ingrained and ingrained in me that eventually, you know, it just got to the point where outwardly I would absolutely say that's disgusting. Being homosexual is disgusting. Being gay is disgusting. But I didn't feel the hate in my heart for it the way that I knew they did. And that was always a struggle for me. And it was always really hard for me because I couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand why I was different from everyone else in my family. Why I was the one that had the compassion and the empathy and everything else when I was the one that should be even more angry. Because I was the one that had those feelings that were gross and disgusting and perverted, and God made me that way, is the way I thought. And it was really, really, really hard for me. But once I had my first couple of experiences with women and, you know, still hated myself for it and still really kicked myself in and prayed and God, please take that away. I did branch out to obviously get experiences with men as well. And that's when everything kind of just turned stupid in my head. The way I was raised was wrong. The things that they said was wrong. I don't have to hate this. This doesn't have to be disgusting. And it wasn't because it was me, but because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to hate people for any reason. It didn't feel right to hate them for being Black. It didn't feel right to hate them for being poor. So there were a lot of things that I was raised to believe that I don't believe to these days because it just didn't feel right in my heart. And when I was able to branch away, finally for the last time from my family, and really able to explore my feelings and really branch out and meet other people who were just like me, who had feelings who were different ways, who were raised to basically raised to hate themselves. It made me meet more and more and more people. And right now, Casper, you know Chrissy, she is transgender. She is this amazing woman who I love more than anything. I call her my sister. I trust her with everything going on in my life. I would trust her with my children. I would trust her. I mean, like if I were to die tomorrow, I would be happy to know that Chrissy would be raising my kids. I mean, I love her. I trust her. I have full faith in she's a human being. She's a human. And, you know, her gender has never mattered to me personally. The only time her gender's ever mattered to me is when I see atheists from our own community bash her for who she is. When I see our own atheist members of our community turn to her and ask her the most perverted, disgusting questions no one should ever ask a lady. And it absolutely fucking infuriates me. And that's the only time her gender ever becomes a topic of conversation between her and I. And it disgusts me. And what I would like to do is set a challenge for anyone who does, like Casper says, you see the show and you're like, I'm going to rip these liberals a new asshole. I challenge you to go online and meet a nice transgender person. Maybe go into a transgender support group and try to be friends and try to be friendly and just see the struggle that these people, like you and me, we're just people, see what their every fucking day struggles are. See how they've been abandoned by their families. See how they've been abandoned by their friends. See how people have tried to take advantage of who they are strictly because of their gender. Things that while I do have that, obviously, there are men and there are women who definitely take advantage of each other for gender, but this is a different kind of exploitation that happens to the transgender community. And I beg of you to just hold a conversation and try to befriend and try to be nice to one of these people that you're throwing out all this hate against. Just ask them what an everyday struggle is like for them. Just waking up in the morning and going to work and getting asked the most obnoxious, disgusting questions they get asked. You and I would never get asked, ever. No one has ever asked me if I still have a penis, right? No one has ever asked me that. It's none of anyone's business. All right? It's just the most disgusting, horrible things happen to these beautiful people. And I challenge anyone watching this show who's still hung up somewhere on anyone. You're still hung up on the LGBT community. Reach out to them. Reach out to them and see how you're going to be embraced with open arms. Even if you go to them and say, you know what, I was raised not liking you and I want to like you. Even if you say something like that, you'll be embraced with open arms. You'll be embraced by people who are just other people who want to be kind and nice and who want a little bit of niceness back on them, so they shine it back on you. I challenge you. Please go meet some of these people before you attack them at the door of a bathroom in Target.
Yeah. I love Chrissy to death. One of our first interactions, we were speaking through messages on Facebook, and one of the first things she said to me was, "Well, in case you didn't know, I'm transgendered, and like I used to be a male." And I was like, "Okay, yeah. So, like, is that relevant to the discussion? Like, I don't." Like, that doesn't matter to me at all.
It's sad. Isn't it sad that she has to do that? She has to do that because if things went any further between you and her, and then you found out later, she gets called a liar by some people. You deceived me. You tricked me. You weren't upfront with me. So this poor woman, every single time she meets someone, has to say, I used to be a man. I am transgender. Right up front. Because if she doesn't do it, she gets attacked for it. And it's disgusting. It is so fucking disgusting. That is their challenge. That is their every single day. Is either they come up front and they tell you, I used to be a man, or they're a liar, pervert, disgusting freak. That's what they get called.
Yeah, it's weird because I can't possibly think of myself having to start every conversation with someone and be like, "Hi, I'm Casper. I have a penis." Like that. Right? I've never even considered that might be something that has to happen in my life.
Or can you imagine women who are like barren or something? Hi, my name is Sandra and I can't have children. I'm just letting you know this up front before you might develop feelings for me. And this might turn into something later. I need to go ahead and let you know my uterus doesn't work. Just straight up, right up front. Otherwise, a man might fall in love with her wanting kids and, oh, you're a liar. You deceived me. You're a fucking cunt and I hate you. Can you imagine this being, women don't have to do that. Women don't have to do that. But transgenders do. And it's sad.
Well, we've neared the end of our normal hour-long show, and Allie and I could sit here discussing this for hours and hours to go. It's a very important topic to us, and not just this bathroom situation. This is not what has piqued or sparked our interest in discussing this. We've been discussing this between ourselves, within our own blogs, within discussions in various groups for years. Literally years, we have been sitting here on the forefront of this saying, hey man, no, I'm not transgender. No, I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community, but I most certainly am a supporter, and I most certainly am an ally. And because you tend to only listen to fucking cisgendered males when it comes to any fucking issue or anything that is said, then let me be a voice for them, because you don't want to fucking listen to them. So let me be the asshole and the voice that will sit here and tell you that you're fucking wrong. Let me be the one that you lash out at and you throw hatred at, because at least if you do that to me, that's one less LGBTQ person that is experiencing that. Better me than them every single time. Better me than them. Um, I'm thick-skinned and I'm a dickhead. I'm a complete asshole, and I will be an asshole to you. I don't care. I don't care about your fucking feelings or your comfort level. I don't care what fucking shit you're triggered by. Please get fucking triggered. Um, Trigger the shit out of yourself, and then fucking you know, fill up a water gun with fucking vodka and trigger it into your mouth and calm the fuck down, because you need to chill the fuck out. Um, this issue is not going away, and it's only getting worse. And one of the reasons that it's only getting worse is because no one is standing up. No one is being an ally for these people. These other human, your fellow fucking human beings that are being treated like less than human, that are being treated like trash, like they don't deserve the same basic decency that you think you fucking deserve. And they're not receiving that, and it's because you think, oh well, you know, I don't hate gay people or transgendered, and I'm not trying to be a bathroom monitor, and I'm not making these statements on Facebook and calling these people bad people, so I'm doing my part, like I'm not being a bigot. You're not doing your fucking part. The worst type of evil is when you ignore evil. That's the worst kind of evil. When you say, oh well, I'm not participating in it. I'm not doing that myself. So I'm not part of the problem. But you are. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Because the more voices that speak out against these people, we're talking about an ignorant minority who just happens to be some of the loudest and most vocal douchebags out there. And that's the only reason they're getting away with this. It's the only reason that they're having their way right now, is because they're so fucking loud and they're so fucking vocal. And everybody else is like, I don't want to deal with these fuckers, so I'll sit back here quietly and I'll try to ignore it until it goes away. It's not gonna fucking go away. There were plenty of people in fucking Nazi Germany who thought, oh man, if we just ignore Hitler and the Nazi Party, they'll just go away. And they didn't. That's not how it fucking works, man. When you have a loud and vocal minority that also has influence and power, you're in trouble. That's when fucking trouble fucking happens. That's how it happens. You know, people right now, they're out here and they're worried, sick to death about Donald Trump, and they're like, oh my god, what, man? If Donald Trump becomes president, like we're in trouble. Not really. No. Like, Congress is going to be just as obstructive to him as they would be a fucking Democrat. I mean, we don't really have to worry about fucking Donald Trump anywhere near as much as we have to worry about Ted Cruz. That crazy son of a bitch believes what the fuck he says. And maybe he says it in a much nicer manner, but he says the same shit. Yeah. Maybe he's not going out here going, we're going to build a fucking wall. No, no, maybe he's not. But what he is saying is, we're going to deport a shitload of people. We're going to enforce a theocracy over this country. We're going to enforce our fucking rules as Christians over the majority of people in this fucking country, whether they fucking like it or not. You're going to deal with it. You will lose abortions. You will lose fucking health care for women. You will lose all these other fucking things, and we will do it right in your fucking face. And I guarantee you that I can convince enough people in Congress to allow me to fucking do this. Can Donald Trump do that? No, he can't. He can't convince enough people in Congress to let him do the insane shit he talks about. Ted Cruz can. He absolutely fucking can. He's been doing it for fucking years. He's the one that made it possible for a Donald Trump to fucking run, and people go, I like what this guy's about. Like, he's just a more vocal version of Ted Cruz. And then we got old Hillary there, and honestly, she's not a lot better. She's not a lot better than Cruz or Donald Trump. I love my Democratic friends that support Hillary. I get you. I get you. You've got a whole fucking laundry list of reasons why you support this woman. And I'm going to tell you that in the end, she is part of the fucking problem and not part of the solution. And, it's impossible for me to support another person that will have Congress to sit there and go, okay, well, should we continue fracking? And Miss Clinton will go, well, yeah, I support fracking. And let's just continue it. Let's continue poisoning water supplies, and let's continue fucking destroying the earth, and let's continue pumping fossil fuels up into the fucking ozone and destroying our planet. Should we put in the XL Keystone pipeline? Well, sure. That's some of her supporters. That's some of the people backing her. And can she get it done through Congress? You're damn right she can. She can get it done. And that's fucking dangerous. That's fucking dangerous. The people that fucking can get this shit done, can get these laws passed, they're fucking dangerous. That's what we're dealing with right now. Too many of the loud, vocal minority are actually in power, and they're backed by a lot of rich motherfucking people. And right now, they're having a field day. Now, how much is it going to take for the United States to drop in our estimation of what human fucking rights are before people actually stand up and say enough is enough? How long are we going to sit back and say that, oh, well, if we just ignore it, it'll go away? Before we realize that we've ignored it too long and now the beast is too big to kill. Are we going to let it get to that point? I honestly think we are. I honestly think a lot of people have just fucking given up and they're not willing to fight, and they just don't give a shit anymore. And they're just done. If it doesn't affect them personally, they just fucking don't give a shit. And so whatever, oh, somebody's trying to keep fags out of bathrooms again. Oh, whatever. I'm not a fag, so it doesn't bother me. Whatever. So somebody's trying to fucking let Christians not fucking make birthday cakes for gay people. So, hey, fuck it, I'm not gay. So whatever. You let them do whatever. Somebody's trying to say, oh, I'm a counselor and I went through all this college and I took a Hippocratic oath, but I don't have to actually cater to folks that I disagree with theologically. So their mental health doesn't mean shit to me. Well, fuck them. We just keep letting them fucking do it, man. Keep letting them fucking do it. We keep ignoring the fucking problem, and it's only going to get bigger. I encourage every single person out here who listens to this show, make your own fucking show. Write your own goddamn blogs. If you want to be on this show, send us an email, Casper at atheistrepublic.com, Allie at atheistrepublic.com. Send us a fucking email. We'll let you be on the show. You can have a few drinks with us. You can rant. You can rave. You can say your piece. I don't care if you're religious. I don't care if you're not religious. I don't care if you want to fucking argue with us. Please come on here. We would love someone to fucking argue with. Oh my goodness, we would love someone to argue with.
Yes, argue.
And this is not going to be a formal debate. Please understand that if you take us up on that note and you want to argue with us, please understand this is not a formal debate, and I will cuss you the fuck out. I will cuss you up one side and down the fucking other, because this ain't the time or place for being nice. This is the time for us to get it off our fucking chest and be honest. And I'm honestly pissed. I'm honestly pissed with the state of affairs in this nation. I'm honestly pissed that there are so many atheists out there telling me to shut up and stop being a dickhead and quit fucking talking about Islam. You can't talk about Islam, and why do you have to be so fucking mean about it? Why can't you just be nice to people? And don't you want to open a fucking dialogue? No, motherfucker. We've had fucking 2,000 years to have dialogue. When we tried to have fucking dialogue, they burned us at the fucking stake and called us witches. I'm done with fucking dialogue. When you want to have a dialogue, you come to me with fucking dialogue. I'm not fucking building bridges. You burnt them fucking down. If you want bridges, you fucking build them. You build that bridge to me, and I'll tell you what, I'll be the one to decide whether you get to lay that final plank so you can take that last step over here. But until then, until you're building the fucking bridge, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be nice to you. I don't want to have a fucking dialogue. I don't want to have a fucking conversation with you because you've lost your motherfucking minds. And all I'm here to do is spit back in your fucking face. I didn't start this shit, but I'm damn sure gonna fucking fight back. I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna stop talking about Islam. I'm not gonna stop talking about fundamentalist fucking bigots out there. I'm not. And I'm not gonna be fucking nice about it. I'm done being fucking nice. You don't deserve for me to fucking be nice to you. Because we're not on the same fucking level. I'm nice to people who are on the same fucking level with me, who have the same ability to make fucking rational decisions based on factual fucking information. If you're not there yet, you're not on my fucking level. And I'm going to treat you like an infant because that's where you're at mentally. You're a fucking infant. And I'm going to treat you like you don't know how to fucking speak to people. You don't know how to fucking converse with another motherfucker. As always, the thoughts and opinions expressed here on Devils in God's Country do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of all members of Atheist Republic. We are a huge organization with well over 300 members, and we cannot possibly speak for all those people. We speak for ourselves. Miss Allie and Casper Rigsby speak for Miss Allie and Casper Rigsby, and we're kind of dicks about it, and that's what happens. So if you don't like it, please, there's a comment section. Let us fucking know, man. Let it go. Trust me, I monitor every fucking comment that goes onto our fucking videos, and I engage with you people. So if you've got something to say, fucking let it fly, man. Please, be it good, bad, or ugly, let it fly, man. I would love to have that conversation with you. If you like what Atheist Republic does, the organization, the nonprofit organization, and you would like to participate in this organization, you'd like to be a part of it, you'd like to contribute to it in some way, please visit atheistrepublic.com. And if you do so, you can contribute in many different ways, be it a volunteer, or if you are able to contribute monetarily. I know it sounds like we're passing around the collection plate. I get it. But the shit we do is not free. I mean, what we're doing right now is free, but we do so much more as an organization, and that shit is not free, and we can always use a little support and help. Because as we said, we are a nonprofit organization. We're not making anything off you. We're just trying to stay afloat and be able to do more shit for you and provide you with more shit that engages an atheist community that wants to be involved in their community and wants to make a difference with humanity. So that's what we're all about. Please, if you feel like that's something you can get into, visit atheistrepublic.com. This has been another episode of Devils in God's Country. We've gone a little long tonight because I'm long in the tooth, especially when I get drinking. Join us again next Monday, same time, same place. Have a good night.